MCU review. Hello YouTube, this is MaulGamer, and today I have a special video reviewing all the MCU films, not to date, but from this year. Since yesterday I went to see Spider-Man Far From Home, I thought I'll do a review for this film, as I personally enjoyed it. But I didn't really also want to do it. It just kind of felt a bit odd, especially since I did review bigger films like Endgame. As much as I wanted to, I just didn't get the time. So, yeah. So, what I am doing is I will be doing all the 3 MCU films that came out this year. All of which I saw in cinemas, so at least I've seen them. I've only seen them once, all of them all together, so please, my memory isn't as fresh for like something like Captain Marvel, whereas Far From Home, I've got a fresh memory of the film, so yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to go in order, and there will be spoilers, so please do not carry on in the video if you have not seen any of these films, or if you have seen some of these films but you haven't seen Far From Home. There will be big spoilers ahead, so please do not keep watching unless you either have seen the films or you do not care about spoilers because you're not planning on seeing them films anyway. So first off, Captain Marvel. It was a weird start to this year. When I went to see it, I wasn't expecting too much from the film. It had a bit of nice comedy, and the setting was pretty nice. Of course, I wasn't born in the 90s, so I wouldn't have understood half the references. But it was a pretty amazing film. There was the plot hole of Skrulls being, like the Kree versus the Skrulls, because we never got to see the Skrulls before, especially since they originated from Fantastic Four sort of things. So it was a bit different for someone like Captain Marvel to have all of it, For the first female lead film, it was okay. There was, in my opinion, there was no concept to the film except trust no one. That was pretty much it. Trust no one. It was the whole mousetrap thing. It was just trust no one. It was an okay plot, but I mean, the big plot twist in the, after just at the end, as if the second act of the movie was pretty big, with the Skrulls being actually good guys and the Kree being the actual bad guys. To be honest, I could see that from a mile away. Well, yes and no. I could see at the beginning, because the Kree, we'd already seen some Kree before. Explain Ronan. Ronan. It's Ronan Yakuza, at least. Yeah, he's a Kree, and he's bad. So, unless there was something that happened in the space of 1990s and 2014, the Kree must have been bad the most of the time. Unless there was a massive change in them times, where they're like, screw being good, let's be bad. But really, they also said that Ronan was a bit crazy already, so Brie was okay as Captain Marvel. The idea that amnesia is like the key villain of the film most of the time, I feel like that is true though. The key villain this whole time is actually just amnesia. It's okay. The amount of times they reuse the clips for Carol, getting knocked down, coming back up. That didn't really feel like a Marvel film to me. That could have been any superhero film. That could have been a DC for all I knew. And especially since Shazam was coming out not too long afterwards as well. When the film came out. Well, it came out like 2 months-ish, I think. I can't recall. But I did... but to be honest, the idea... The funny part of the movie is Nick Fury. He's always getting his eye hurt, and we always think, so that's how he gets his eye out. But no, all of this time, we've been thinking like, bombs getting crashed. Nope. They don't matter. No, a cat scratching Nick Fury's eye is the thing that actually means he needs an eye patch. Boy. It is a weird concept. But can't blame him, to be honest. It was a really good film, but not the best of the 3 that came out this year. In my opinion, it goes 3rd place. It just doesn't really fit, in my opinion, as a Marvel film. But the idea of Goose the cat is just amazing. A Flurkin, well, Goose the Flurkin. I don't own a cat personally, so I wasn't able to joke around about the Flurkin stuff with my cat. But, it's okay. But the post-credit scenes were they got me hyped for Endgame. Well, the mid-credit scene anyway. The post-credit scene... Really, I personally didn't really wait that long. I just wanted to get out and get some lunch. Macadis, my boys. But the film, I didn't watch it, but I did watch it via YouTube. The idea of having the Tesseract in this movie really... It annoyed me a load. It annoyed me so much because why? Just why? Why do we need the Tesseract in pretty much every Marvel film? We had it in so many and we don't need it. Yes, okay, it tells us why, where it has been since then. So, people have been making timelines for this thing. And then Endgame, when I next say, that just makes it even weirder because it says it's somewhere else in another time. So it's confusing. It is really confusing. A really confusing thing. But that's Marvel. So, yeah. Captain Marvel, I would rate probably 6 out of 10. Definitely not a film I'd watch over and over again. Not like Endgame. Next up, Endgame. So, Endgame, what a movie. I could say the rating right now and just go through everything. It was absolutely just a magnificent film. But there was a lot of lack. There was a massive lack of action. It's an Avengers film. We need action. But I'm going to talk about the main film itself. The film was very long. Now, I love how people meme about the fact that in Endgame, you really needed the toilet quite a bit. You missed... I know M&J TV went to see it, and he didn't get to see the... I see this as an absolute win. He didn't understand he knew where it came from, but he didn't see the scene. So it kind of made... I personally actually didn't need to go to the toilet. Not that I did go, but I didn't go actually at all that night. So this was at night, and this was the same day that the Super Mario Bros. Musical came out. So yeah. So I'm just sitting down. Like, you're gonna just see my head now. I'm sorry, but my legs ache. Anyway, so I need a chair, don't I? I really do need a chair. I do need to get a desk. And anyway, that's for another video. So yeah, Endgame, just a beautiful film. It's there's so much to see in the film. Captain America versus Captain America. That really does remind me of the classic Spider-Man meme. The no, you're no, which did appear in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I'm guessing Marvel, Sony, and that knew that we knew the memes. We are memes. We memed that scene. And so it became probably a bit of a funny joke, the fact that they did that scene again. But we're not here to talk about Into the Spider-Verse. We're here to talk about Endgame. Endgame was a very beautiful film. I Love You 3000. I loved it 3000. It was beautiful. A nice way to finish off some of the Avengers characters. You know, we finished off, you know, they killed off Iron Man, the one who started it all. And it was beautiful because he died. Just amazing. It was amazing. Ooh. Rescue being in the film. A lot of us fans, some of us theorized Rescue was going to be in this film. But I personally thought, like, from the first trailer, they said, oh, Iron Man's in space. He's stuck. No help. Yeah, that was before anything, and it's like that's like very early in the movie. That's in the first half an hour. Like, that's in the first 20 minutes of the film. That's how annoyed I was at the first trailer, because it just doesn't work. It teases at the first early of the film. But some of us fans theorized that Rescue was gonna come and rescue Tony, but instead Captain Marvel did the job, and it was like, okay, not the best, but okay. Everyone coming back together and then all going to battle Thanos. It was weird. But them going to battle Thanos felt like, oh, okay. I kind of feel sorry for Thanos. As an amazing villain in Infinity War, I feel like he wasn't the best of villains in this film. Like, in some way, it felt like he was not even part of the film. Because most of the time, he wasn't a main villain. He was a villain of Infinity War, but not this film. He was doing literally nothing the whole film. He was just there like, oh, get me that gauntlet now. Sorry about the light issues. And Thanos dying very early in the film was actually talked about quite a bit before the film's release. And turns out it was true, and I was kind of upset that they killed him off so early. But then, like, I knew they were going to have him come back. I mean, the idea of time travel for the film felt really bad. I'm sorry, but as much as people really like the idea that it's a nostalgic feeling of time travel, I hated it. I'm sorry, but I hated that concept. Time travel has been used so much in these films. And well, not in Marvel films, but in many films so far. And I got so annoyed with it. Old Man Cap. I wanted to talk about him. Why, Marvel? Okay, I could see it coming. I could see that he was going to be stopped, he was going to die or something like that. But no, he became an old man and was like, yeah, I lived my life with Peggy in the end. I mean, that was a good idea that he actually got to do what he wanted in the end. Because you could see he really wanted to do it before, but he didn't. I'm just wondering what happened. Does she know that he time travelled? Does she know that everything's gonna happen? He knows what's gonna happen, but or does Peggy just not know? Does she think, he's been alive this whole time? He never died. I mean, that could be a question for another time. But the only reason I'm saying I knew it was coming was a tweet by Chris Evans. He said thank you to Marvel and that, because he said it's been amazing working with the Avengers and all that. And it's like, so wait a second, you're saying you're about to die in Avengers Endgame? Well, yes, but actually, no. That's exactly my thought, exactly when I found that out. So, yeah. The no post-credit scene was a bit different, but I liked the idea of having no post-credit scene. It started the whole timeline. It's giving you a nostalgic feeling of the cave that Iron Man made his first suit of armor. That is a post-credits noise. It is a pretty good idea. But the film did get to me with the whole Black Widow dies. And it was hard to believe, but other characters I need to talk about. Well, Fat Thor. Just no. Ugh. As much as people really enjoyed the joke that he's fat now, I hate it. I hated the hair throughout the movie. The only time I actually liked it was in the end battle, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about, because Fat Thor just looks ugly. Just no. Just no. Fat Thor is just a no. Another character I want to talk about is Hawkeye. Him returning, being Ronin, and then not being Ronin, and it's like, Ronan, was it? Yeah, Ronan. Ronan? It's really hard to remember. But him being that character, and then it's like, nope, he was never that character. Throughout these films, we've seen characters fade a lot. We didn't see any characters fade in Captain Marvel, but we see our characters fade in Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp. We actually got to see some in Endgame as well, with Thanos and Hawkeye's family, which, God, that must hurt to have all your family go. But also, that was shown in Spider-Man Far From Home. They showed that. So, the end battle. That was what I was waiting for. Portals is my favourite scene and piece from the whole film. Better than the Avengers theme itself. It's just so beautiful at the beginning. The and then it just spreads out to all these characters returning. Just Doctor Strange is that everyone? You wanted more? Because, Doctor Strange, he saw all of this. He saw all of Endgame. He knew it was going to happen. He knew that people had to be sacrificed for this. And that is amazing. I was watching Scream Rant the other day at their pitch meeting for the film, and I died at the idea of when Doctor Strange did his one to show that this was the timeline that Iron Man would be able to do it. He just like, I just love how they were saying, oh, so that's the sign for Ant-Man to go up to Thanos' butt. And it just killed me because that is a really bad theory. Not a bad theory, but it's a bad theory. A film theory. But the film, the Iron Man's death is just a beautiful death. A beautiful way to end off the character. And I just love the I am inevitable and I am Iron Man. That was a really nice callback to the first film's big words that Tony said. I am Iron Man. Because he is Iron Man. It was a beautiful film altogether. I cried. And it made any man cry, so. Anyway, yeah. Film, definitely number one spot. Definitely number one spot. I've gone back to kneeling. You're welcome. Anyway, so Far From Home. Saw it yesterday. Absolutely amazing. What a good film. So, as I said, guys, from here on, there will be spoilers for this film. So if you watch this, carry on watching for spoilers, but you already seen Endgame and that, and Captain Marvel, but you really didn't worry about this, stop watching if you haven't seen it. Because this is a film you want to see. Especially if you weren't a fan of Homecoming. Because, personally, Homecoming was a pretty good film, but it really, the idea and the concept in the first film of having it show other people and their daily lives. You know, not other people's daily lives, but what it's like on the streets. You know, in other Marvel films, you see all these big superheroes, but you don't really care about these small characters. Like, you don't care about school characters. And then you get to see what it's like in schools and stuff like that. This film really had an amazing concept. Deception versus perception. Deception versus perception. Which was a very, very different concept from the first. This concept, of course, was with Mysterio, what you believe and what you do not believe. That is the question. You know, do you believe that these characters, you know, do you believe that this is true and this isn't? Yeah, and Mysterio is right. In the film, he says anyone would believe anything. Anyone would believe if... What I mean by this is, we believe anything these days. Like, especially parents and adults sometimes believe things that you think they should believe, because, and it could be the biggest news channels. They take very deceptive sometimes. They but take anything. They, you know, when it comes to gaming, when people said, oh, and this is true, I personally do not like the BBC, especially being British, but, you know, which is surprising, but I personally do not like them. Why? Because they had a go at DDLC, one of my favourite games, and just so, because a 15-year-old suicide, I could not, because they didn't go through anything. They believed, the parents believed that this was the problem, but it wasn't. How do you know? How do you not know anything about school? That's what I'm questioning. Why? That could be a whole entire video, you know, but I'm not going to rant about it today. I'm going to rant about Far From Home. What an amazing movie. It was... Mysterio was an amazing character. The idea that he interacted well with Peter, which was really good. And then the idea... I thought the snap actually tore a hole into a different universe, to a multiverse, was a thing. The trailers kind of made it look like that. But no! I was shocked. None of it was real. It was actually all just fake. So that deception versus perception also affected me. Because I thought the whole multiverse idea was going to be a thing. That's how we would think characters like Wolverine and the X-Men. Characters from the Fantastic Four. So, you never know. But, ooh. I have to say this now. Why? The Endgame re-release. Now this is something I'm saying I hate. The Endgame re-release that came out not too long ago came with Endgame, the whole 3 hours, and then about 6 minutes extra. So, Endgame was added. Then there was a tribute to Stan Lee, which was very beautiful. And there was also a deleted scene, which had zero meaning, to be honest. And then there was another scene. Well, a thing. A sneak peek to Far From Home. And I hated it! Because that sneak peek was the very beginning of the film. Why? Because they could have showed any scene. They could have shown, you know, because we'd already seen a few scenes. We've seen a bit of Hydra Man scene, which was a clip itself. And then there was another scene, I can't remember what it was. I think it was when Fury snaps at Peter. It's Beckett and... well, Beckett's last Mysterio and Peter talking on the roof. And that was a nice scene. The bar scene was okay. The idea that Peter just gives Edith away, which I liked Edith's name, which stands for Even Dead, I'm the Hero. Which is some words from Tony. Even dead, I'm the hero. Which he knew he was... So Tony knew he might die, so he created the glasses for Peter. So he, even dead, he is, you know, even dead, Iron Man's still a hero. Which kind of also... The subtle the references, though, to previous films that they used was crazy. The idea that Beckett and his team were actually Stark Industries, like, they were scientists and that from there. But no, they were kicked out, fired. They were just left astray. Which was a very, very good idea. Beckett being the creator of Bath, which I thought was a funny name when I saw Iron Man 2. No, not Iron Man 2, Civil War. I was mixing it up with some... I was thinking of another film. I don't know why I was thinking of Bath from Iron Man 2. Because that wasn't even a thing. I forget my films sometimes. You know, you had a character from the first Iron Man film, which was amazing. So... yeah. But the post-credit scenes, what do I have to say about them? A lot, actually. What? So they killed Beckett, or killed Beckett. I still can't tell if they actually killed Beckett or not. I can't tell. I can't tell if they actually killed Mysterio or they just said, he's alive. So, they could have killed him, they could have just kept him alive, purposely due to other reasons. But, him forging something and then saying, oh, yeah, by the way, this guy's Peter Parker. And it's like, wait, what? He just revealed to the world. Now, I think it's supposed to reference Iron Man's I Am Iron Man from Iron Man. I think it's supposed to reference that. And I don't... Now, I was watching James Universe's review on the movie. Amazing YouTube channel. Go check him out. There's a lot of reactions to a lot of things. Marvel and DC, that sort of thing. So, very good channel. And he was saying, oh, Peter will be fine. People would actually like it a bit more. No, because it would be just like Iron Man. But no. He forgot one major part. Spider-Man has just been framed for something he hasn't done, saying that he's the bad guy. So, him being found as Peter, you know, him being known to the world for his secret identity, then also thrown right on top of that with forgery, people believing what they shouldn't believe, but they do believe it anyway. They believe anything. That idea might affect Peter a lot. People know who he is, but also think of him as a bad guy. They trust anyone. If anyone's done anything heroic, they would trust them. They would trust their life towards them. So, again, using that concept, can we just take a moment for the return of J. Jonah Jameson? But the fact that it's the same actor, I keep forgetting his name, sorry. I'm not too onto my actors except for Ryan Reynolds, Chris Brown, all that. But having the same exact actor from the original Spider-Man was absolutely amazing. I couldn't have asked for more. The best Sam Raimi... Oh my god, I can't. I just couldn't. I couldn't just be like, how is this a thing? How is this a thing? The post-credit scene. How long has Nick Fury been a Skrull? Well, we could say that Nick Fury, and then there was Talos being Nick Fury as well. How long has this happened? I'm thinking that they switched during so like, I don't know if Talos was the one who got faded, or if it was actually the real deal. The real Maria and the real Nick Fury did it. Now, to be honest, I could see that making more sense, the real Nick Fury actually fading, because why would he have the communicator? But here's what I'm thinking. This could mean a lot more for the Marvel Universe. We could see Secret Invasion. There we go. Secret Wars is completely different. But we could see that happening, and a lot of people have been saying this, because now that Skrulls have been confirmed, now that Skrulls are able to be used easily, as we've seen, it could open up a whole new world. Don't you dare start referencing Aladdin in the comments. I've seen the film, okay. But I think from Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron, Nick Fury's been Talos the whole time. He does other things, which is an amazing idea. The fact that, because it would make more sense that way. Now, if you go see it because you've just spoilt yourself, if you've been watching still and you've spoiled yourself for the movie, do watch it anyway, because I didn't spoil everything for the movie. There is some other parts which are really good. The visual effects are amazing, in my opinion. Not, sometimes they're okay, sometimes they look like they're very old visual effects. Yeah. The film... Oh, God. Huh. The film... When you go and see it, remember in your mind, this is 2023. Not 2018, not 2019. I got confused at one point. Well, I was thinking in cinema, wait, why is this all happening? You know, no, this is not 2019, this is 2023. Now, what they didn't touch on was about the Queen, which I'm happy they didn't touch on, because, oh my God, if they touched on the Queen being dead, would be really just not the best idea. Because it's 20. If it's in the future, they can't just predict the future like they did in Endgame. Jeez, guys, you didn't need to start putting Fortnite in the damn thing. Sorry about that. Stop it with the dab, jeez. Oh, sorry. I have to hate the film for that. It includes a dab and Fortnite. Okay, I do play a bit, but not as much. Okay. Anyway, that's it. Yeah. So, and Discord, link in the description. It's the description now. The link in the description for my Discord and my Amino. But please join my Discord because I need more members. Please. Please. Oh. And yeah. Bye, guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.